Alright guys, what up again? I just saw Mad Max Fury Road and I'm doing the driving reviewing thing again. It was fun last time, let's do it one more time. Okay, this movie's fucking nuts in every good and every way imaginable. I had so much fun watching this movie right now. I lost track of the number of times I found myself just slack-jawed, staring at the screen, my entire body tense, just trying to, this movie is so visually arresting and just so, it just grabs you. It grabs hold of you by your hair and it just will not let you go. And just, there's, okay, let's calm down a little bit here and try to be coherent. So, Mad Max, this is the fourth movie, Mad Max Fury Road. This is the fourth Mad Max movie, and in the last week I've seen the original Mad Max, which I thought I had seen, but nope, definitely not. I had not seen that movie before. Road Warrior, which I had seen before, but never like in one entire sitting, and I tried to get to Thunderdome. I didn't quite get to it though, but I did see the first two, and the first movie is also very weird. That's George Miller's style. Just, he's gonna do a thing and you're either gonna be on board with the thing he's doing or you're not gonna be on board. And if you're on board, you'll love it. If you're not, you're probably not gonna like it so much. I would say that the original is my least favorite of them. Again, I'll need to watch Thunderdome to like really judge that. But of the three that I've seen recently, I did watch Thunderdome a lot as a kid. But thinking back on it, I don't think I would like it as much as Road Warrior, or even this movie. And honestly, this movie, I think it might be better than Road Warrior. I think it may be the best one, and it's also definitely one of the best movies I've seen so far this year. And that's important. It may not seem like it's important, but it is. And the reason for that is because this movie is rated R, and that's a big deal. Movies these days are very rarely rated R when they're this kind of very big, very, very summary blockbuster type of thing. Most of them are just PG-13, and I think that, you know, we need... Back in the day, back in the 80s, movies would be rated R all the time. Big action blockbusters, Predator, Terminator, Alien, Aliens, Terminator 2. I could just go on and on and on, but you just don't see them anymore because studios and such like to play it safe. And technically the safe way to play it with blockbusters and with the box office is with PG-13. It allows for the widest berth of an audience to be reached, and it gives you the most secure financial return because of it. The more people can see the movie, the more tickets can be sold, and the more money can be made. And while, you know, I understand that logic from a business standpoint, where it fails is because movies aren't just money-making tools. I know people want them to be, but they're not. Movies are art. And in order for art to be really good, and in order for art to reach its most potential, you need to let the directors, the writers, the crew, the designers, the actors, everyone, you need to let them involved do their thing. Do what they set out to do when they decided to do this movie. And there are some things for which that works with PG-13. A lot of things. The Dark Knight trilogy that just came out works just fine. Other things, every now and then, sorry, it's 1:30 in the morning, I got off work before I saw the movie, so just bearing with me here. There are things that are good when they are PG-13, there really truly are. But there are other things that are intended to be R and need to be R. And I'm not going to argue that the RoboCop remake would have been better. No, that's not true. I'm not going to argue that the RoboCop movie remake would have been good if it was rated R versus PG-13, but it would have been better. because it would have been closer to the original. It could have kept that spirit. What's so fun about the original RoboCop movie is it's so over-the-top violent. It's weirdly hilarious. I caught myself when I watched RoboCop for the first time, just a little bit before the remake came out. I was just there would be these scenes that would just be so over-the-top violent and horrendous, but there's something about just how over-the-top it is that makes you laugh in spite of yourself. And that's fun. That's called tone. That's called intention. That's art right there. Taking something that's horrifying and turning it on its head and making it oddly fun. And you can't really do that with PG-13. And so, if nothing else, guys, go see Mad Max just because it's rated R. Now, this movie doing well won't mean that, the entire scape of film is going to change, but if this rated R major blockbuster summer tentpole movie does well in spite of its R rating, I guarantee you that we'll get another one. And then if that one does well, we'll get more. And if those do well, sooner or later, we'll eventually be having all these movies that are huge, hundreds of millions of dollars, production budgets and advertising that are big and bold and out there and what people wanted them to be when they set out to make them. And that, my friends, that would be such a beautiful world. What a lovely day it will be when that happens. But that's enough ranting about that. Let's get back to this movie. So I stayed away from the trailers for this movie as much as I could. They were playing everywhere on TV, but I only watch TV sporadically. I watch everything online. It's the times. What are you going to do? So I avoided those as much as I could. I stayed away from all reviews, all of them. I haven't read anything in any newspaper, nothing on Badass Digest or Birth Movies Death as it is now, Jeremy John Stuckman, nothing on Channel Osman, nothing. I wanted to go into this movie just as cold as I could. All I knew is that it was a Mad Max movie and there was going to be lots of cars and lots of explosions and Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy as Mad Max. And I'm going to talk about that real quick here. Tom Hardy wasn't bad. That's not the word for what he was. It's something more along the lines of underwhelming. Tom Hardy is a very interesting actor. He does all kinds of crazy things. I'll just look at Bane and then look at him in Inception and then look at him in just any of his other movies. Like, he's always doing something kind of funky. He's always doing something kind of out there. He's always experimenting. And he did something different here, but it just didn't really work for me. Maybe if I saw it again, I would feel differently, but I found he was just kind of mumbly the entire time, or he made more sounds than he did talk. Lots of which, isn't bad. Because the character is obviously written that way, so you need to play to that. If you fight against it as you're trying to be the character, you're going to get something even worse, something that would legitimately be bad, and as opposed to something that I just found underwhelming. But, it's weird that we live in this age. Like, we have Batman doing the this day just that is not God, I can't even do that. Whoa, that hurt. Talking like that. And then we have Bane and The Dark Knight Rises, again played by Tom Hardy. I'm Bane, and I'm going to Bane things up. Just Hollywood, just let us hear our actors. Like, just let us know what they're saying. I admit in some of my videos the audio quality isn't great. In fact, in a couple it's rather terrible. But one, I'm just some dude trying to figure this out on his own, and I've barely been doing it for 6 months. Two, I do it for a budget of maybe $20 an episode if I have to go buy a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars with Academy Award-winning people working behind me. There's a difference between my little web series and Interstellar. One should be held to a different standard than the other one. Not that you should just accept problems with my show, but I'm actively trying to work on them. I'm actually researching a new microphone to get right now so that I can maybe get around some of these issues. And I'm also I don't know, trying to not be so quiet. You see, I'm looking at the fact that I mumble in some of my videos, and I'm learning from it. Unlike Tom Hardy in this movie, who saw himself mumbling in previous takes and then just continued to mumble in future ones. Now, maybe that was the direction he was given. Maybe I'm being totally hypocritical because my acting coach always tells me not to mumble so much. I don't know. But of all the performances in this movie, and there were some damn good performances, Charlize Theron is wickedly badass. Nicholas Hoult, who I didn't even recognize until I IMDb'd this character. Holy crap, bro. Thumbs up. Especially considering the lead was mumbling the whole time. Thumbs up to Nicholas Hoult. And then I think my personal favorite, I can't remember his name right now because I don't know him as an actor, but I looked up who the main bad guy was, and he's the same guy who was the main bad guy in Mad Max. Insert clip.
The Night Rider.
Here. Yeah, that guy. That guy is the bad guy in this movie. And it's a completely different character. They're completely different. Or maybe they're not. Maybe I'll eat those words. But I think they're completely different characters. But I don't know. That just made me laugh when I realized that. And Immortal Joe, I think his name was in this movie or something like that. A lot of... maybe I shouldn't be so hard on Tom Hardy because a lot of people were doing the mumbly thing. It made a lot of it really kind of hard to follow and to catch a lot of different names. Like, I know Charlize Theron was Furiosa, and I think Nicholas Holt's character was Nux. I could be wrong about that. Again, it's kind of a lot of mumble. It was kind of hard to catch. But if I see it again, which I kind of want to, maybe I'll catch them all. But this guy, Immortal Joe, the bad guy, he's just got the most ridiculous bad guy outfit ever. And you see that what this guy is doing with this, if his name is Immortal Joe's voice, is how you do a bad guy. You don't go, I'm going to blow up the city because my girlfriend's dad was killed by the protector of the city. I'm Bane. Just you give him like you give your villain like an actual threatening voice, not this like weirdly high-pitched British squawk that then goes deep and low and it's time for the villain to get a scar. And then I will allow you to die. Hopefully the microphone on my camera is good enough to pick that all up. But if it's not, that's what watching The Dark Knight Rises is like for me. Yes, I'm aware I've got a Dark Knight Rises poster behind me in my room, but that poster is awesome, and I got it for free because I know somebody who worked on the movie. Michelle, thank you very much. I love that poster. I don't like the movie, but that poster is awesome. Turning on to my street. So yeah, Fury Road, man. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna go see this movie again. It's so over the top and just so, its visuals, its style, it's so fun. Like, I know 2 weeks ago I ranted about how fun Age of Ultron was, but man, this movie, it's fun in a completely different way. I mean, not really. It's where Ultron is fun in the sense of just being snarky and silly and things like that. This movie is fun in how just, well, I guess it is just silliness again, but it's a different kind of silliness. I don't want to call one better than the other one, and I don't want to. No, actually, I don't want to call one better than the other one, because they're both, in addition to just being ridiculous action fests, they both have things that they're about. And this one, I like what it did with religion, and I know I talk about religion on this show a lot. I like the ideas of a zealot seeing his religion from the outside and getting a new perspective on it, like what happened here. And I'm not going to say any more than that. I just think that was a very clever move by them. And that's what really makes these Mad Max movies, when they work, because no matter how crazy a sci-fi or post-apocalyptic movie may get, or how out there ultimately, like, the reason why you do sci-fi, the reason why you do post-apocalyptic is not to show something so outrageously different from what we as human beings know and understand that we can't relate to it. You're supposed to take the crazy, you're supposed to take the out there, the insanity, the over-the-top technology and the corrupt governments and all that, and make them mirrors of our own world. Sci-fi and post-apocalyptic storytelling is at its best when it's taking what makes it sci-fi and what makes it post-apocalyptic and using it to examine our own world. And the Mad Max movies at their best do that with Road Warrior and with this one. They do it in different ways. Road Warrior was all about gas. And the fact that it was made in, 1984? And the fact that it basically predicted oil wars? Like, that's pretty... No copyright strikes. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'd like when movies do that. Not to harp again about RoboCop, but the original RoboCop kind of predicted the state of Detroit in 30 years, and then this RoboCop remake comes out, and it displays Detroit as this, really not that bad. The suburban, nice, all over the place, with nice houses and cops living in big, expensive things that cops could probably never actually afford. It's really not that bleak-looking of a future, but we're just supposed to assume it's a bleak-looking future. Show, don't tell. Don't tell us it's a bleak future. Show it's a bleak future. But you can't do that if it's a PG-13, and I'm already done. I've talked about that too much. And that's 16 minutes again. I guess maybe that's going to be my runtime for these immediate reaction videos if I keep doing these. So, Mad Max. If you like the originals, go see it. If you like crazy sci-fi, go see it. If you like post-apocalyptic done right, not just Hunger Games, Maze Runner, hooey, go see it. You will love this movie. Hopefully. If none of those things sound appealing to you, let it go. But this is I think this could end up being an important movie. So that's the other reason. If you want to help support the future of crazy cinema, go see this movie. Because it will help us get more crazy, weird, out there movies that we won't see if studios and producers and such continue to want to play it safe. Supporting this movie will help create a better future for cinema. Now, I'm not saying that this is the only way to create a better future for cinema. If this movie tanks, and then we go 5 years without seeing a rated R movie like this, summer blockbuster tentpole movie like this, when those 5 years are up, and then another high budget, high concept, very expensive to make summer blockbuster tentpole movie comes out, and if that one does well, then that one will go on to be the one that kind of gives the resurgence to R-rated, big, expensive tentpole blockbuster summer movies. So this isn't, a make or break kind of thing here, but if we want to see it sooner, this is a movie to support. So there's that. It's 1:43 in the morning, so I think I'm going to stop my rant, but Mad Max Fury Road is fucking awesome. How do I turn this thing off? Right, no, it's like, this is why I need my... that.